Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to be playing around with a bunch of new makeup releases. Most of them I've already tried out behind the scenes. I've been playing around with them a little bit so that I can give you my initial thoughts and opinions on them. Now, just bear in mind, I'm going to be, using these products continuously. And then later on, I'm going to give you my final thoughts in a speed review video. And also, I do have a couple of first impressions in today's video. There are only a few products though. Most of them I've already tried out. So I'm really excited for today's video, and if you end up enjoying it as well, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more beauty content, and don't forget to ring the bell in order to get notified about my upcoming videos. And if you do want to check out my description box down below, I'm always listing and linking all of the products that I'm using in a video down there. Just know it's very much appreciated, and thank you so much for your support. So right now, I am not completely barefaced. I've already put on my primer. So I've used a couple of drops of my beloved Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Water Powder Serum. And then I used the Dominic Cooling Blur Mattifying Primer on top of it so that we can skip the primer section, because honestly, I don't really have a brand new primer. This is the newest one, and look how much I've used this. I honestly really love this. So we are gonna kick off this video with putting something on my lips. You guys know I like to prep my lips before makeup application, and I was so intrigued by this release because honestly, this is not a brand new product, but it's an extension of shades slash flavors. Really, it's more about the flavors with this product. And this is one of my favorite lip oil formulas of all time. So when I saw that they released 3 brand new flavors, I was like, sign me up. I want to try them all. So of course I'm talking about Nabla Cosmetics, and this is the lip candy oil. There were 3 original flavors. I have 2. I've got the grape one, and I also have the honey one. This formula is not quite as thin as most lip oils. It has a little bit more body to it. And it's just so nourishing. It almost feels like silk on your lips. I can't describe it. It just feels amazing. This is quite long lasting, and it gives you such high shine. Like, I am really obsessed with these. So when they released 3 new flavors, I was like, I'm all in. I want all of those. So one of the new flavors is salted coconut. Oh my goodness, like this is so yummy. It's translucent. It's pretty sheer. Like this is just literally gonna give you shine on your lips, nothing more. Also the original lineup, they are translucent. There is no tint to them whatsoever. And then we also got this new one. This is watermelon. Again, translucent, yummy. So watermelon here, and then the other one, I was really intrigued about this. Black cherry. I've tried this one, and this has a very light pigment to it, like very light, almost translucent. And I think because these are quite clear, right? I do want to try this one out today on my lips. I want to show you how this one is looking. The scent of this, oh, this is so delicious. It smells divine. It really smells like a juicy black cherry, and it does not smell artificial. With these, they don't really smell artificial whatsoever. They really do smell natural, which I also really appreciate. So if you don't like anything like artificial or sickly sweet on your lips, try these because they are very natural in flavor. So let's go. Oh my gosh, it's such a beautiful tint. Like, it's so subtle, right? I would say out of all the traditional lip oils that there are on the market, that's my favorite formula. It's just my favorite formula. And look at the shine. I mean, so juicy, right? So juicy. And they are also not sticky. They are so not sticky, which I love. Let's move on to the brand new foundation that I've been trying out. So this is by Jane Iredale, and it's the Skin Tuition SPF 30 Radiance Boosting Liquid Foundation. So in my last video, in my speed reviews video, I did announce that I did order this, and I was waiting on it, and it has arrived in time. Here it is. This comes in a glass bottle, and I mean, this is quite a pricey foundation, right? So I was really intrigued, and as you may know, I have reviewed so much Jane Iredale on this channel. I think it's the one brand where I have filmed the most full face reviews of. Maybe it's also RMS, I'm not sure, but definitely I've reviewed so much Jane Iredale. I have tried out every foundation that they have. And so I was really intrigued. I wanted to know if this one is good. And I'm gonna tell you straight off the bat, this is the best foundation, in my opinion, that Jane Iredale has ever released. It's so beautiful on the skin. So let's start off with the shade range. This does come in 26 shades. I've got mine in the shade 34, and 34 is described as a light medium with cool pink undertones. Now I will say this shade will work on me in the middle of summer. Okay, when I have a little bit more of a tan, it's definitely gonna work, but I feel like once I'm losing my tan, this might be a little bit too dark. So I already ordered the second shade. I ordered the shade 26, light with cool pink undertones as well. I like the shade range. I've got to say, one of my subscribers pointed out to me that there were no olive undertones. So just keep that in mind if you have an olive undertone. For me, you know, I do have more of a pink undertone. I feel like they really nailed it with the pink cool undertones, because sometimes you have brands that do claim that they have a cool undertone and the undertone is straight up peach. And peach is not a cool undertone, okay? That's a warm undertone. So I do appreciate the fact that they've managed to do a pretty good pink undertone here. They are saying that this is lightweight, breathable, liquid with a barely there feel, naturally perfects with medium buildable coverage, radiant finish, leaves dull skin looking bright and healthy, blurs and smooths the appearance of fine lines and texture. So this also has an SPF 30, and the filter that they are using is actually a mineral filter, and it's zinc oxide. This one I feel like just looked so good at the end of my day. Really, really good. And this is coming from someone with a little bit of like oilier skin. So I'm going to clip back my hair and then we're going to be applying the product. So I'm going to give this a really good shake before I'm going to be applying it. I just think this one really works beautifully with a sponge. And honestly, all of the claims that they've made about this foundation on their website, I kind of agree. This has medium coverage and a radiant finish, but mind you, I usually don't like a radiant finish, and I don't necessarily love this finish 100%, but I can powder it down, so it's not a big issue. So this is the texture. It's a little bit more on the runnier side without being too runny. It's gonna run down my finger, right? But it's not like super liquidy. It still has some body to it. So I'm gonna apply it on one side first, but can you see the shade? The shade, it's a summer shade on me, okay? This is not gonna work in the winter time. It really won't work. But yeah, let's apply it on one side of my face first. And so a little bit of this product, this was like one pump of the product, will give me a solid medium coverage straight away. And just keep in mind with a sponge, usually the coverage is always a little bit compromised, especially because mine is damp now, unless you are using a drier sponge. But beautiful, look at that, okay? So I gotta use, do I have to use a little bit more? Might have to use a little bit more product for my forehead. Not that much though. And you can definitely also build this coverage up. We're gonna be doing that in a second, but I just wanna show you what just a little bit of this product can do. I mean, right now it's a pretty good shade match, right? Once it's blended out. So just look at that. That definitely gave me some solid medium coverage with not too much product. Wow. I think this looks so beautiful. It's not over the top dewy. It's not over the top radiant. It definitely does reflect the light a little bit, right? But this is so easy to powder down. So I'm going to be using 2 pumps for the other side here. It really feels like a super luxurious formula. And also, this is completely fragrance-free. I completely forgot to mention that it's fragrance-free, which is even better. But just look at how beautiful and how healthy my skin is looking with this. And honestly, for my everyday life, this would be enough coverage. right? It's like a solid medium coverage. I don't need more. I'm gonna apply a little bit more just to show you that this is actually a buildable foundation. It has a little bit of a dry down, but it's also flexible enough for it to be layered, for it to be built up. So, I would suggest to use a powder with this, but it's not like sticky or wet, or, it feels so lightweight on the skin. Really, it does. So I'm gonna use a little bit more, although I would not necessarily do that, but I just want to show you what you can achieve with this, right? If you need more coverage, and it's just so good because it really does build. It's a really buildable formula. And although when you build it up, it still looks so natural. It still looks beautiful on the skin. It just looks so healthy. It looks beautiful. It looks like a second skin. Does not look like makeup. I just think this looks fresh and healthy. And I love the fact that this product is also quite long lasting, which was my biggest fear when I purchased this. I thought like, oh, I just hope it's not going to look like a heavy mineral foundation. And it does not. It just stays put. If you can find a shade that is going to match you, 100% would recommend it. It's so beautiful. But all right, you guys, so that was the foundation. So let's move on to the concealer. And I will say I got the wrong shade. I completely got the wrong shade. So I might have to apply this a little bit differently today. But this one is by Estee Lauder, and it's the Double Wear Stay in Place Concealer. I do have their Double Wear foundation. I really like that foundation. And I've got this in the shade 2C. This is way too light for me. It's way too light for me, although I do have their foundation in a 2C shade. I think it's 2C01 Pure Beige. That's my shade match. But this is, oh my gosh, it's so light. But this has so much coverage, full coverage, and this honestly looks amazing, but the shade is too light. So whenever a shade is too light for me, I'm automatically not gonna love it 100%. So maybe this is gonna work in the winter time. I mean, I've ordered shade 3C just in case. So I'm going to include that shade in a speed review video. Just know I don't have it right now. As I'm filming this video, it has not arrived just yet. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to just apply a little bit of this concealer right here in my inner corner and maybe in the center of my face, so I can at least show you this concealer. It's a very interesting texture. It's quite lightweight, but it just packs a punch, has so much coverage. And this is quite long wearing. Like, I did try this out all underneath my eyes because I just wanted to see if it would crease. It does not. I'm gonna just apply it in the center of my face, but just look at that. That is way too light. That is way too light. And I don't need much product here, like you really don't. It's also not too liquidy, but it's also not over the top thick. So I just need a little bit, and I'm just gonna apply it right here. I don't need to dip back. I can just apply it like that. And for the rest, I think I'm just gonna go in with my House Labs concealer in the shade 22. I'm just gonna use this right here. I seriously don't understand how this product is still giving. I don't get it. Like, this should be empty by now. I'm still on my first one and I've been using this consistently almost every day. Like, I don't understand the magic. So I'm gonna let this sit for a little bit. So while this is drying down, I'm gonna apply a little bit of my Sigma eyeshadow base primer in the shade Persuade all over my lids. So that's already out of the way. All right, so my Sigma eyeshadow base is applied and I'm gonna be blending this out now. I'm gonna start off with my eyes. And again, the Estee Lauder concealer really just has so much coverage. It's really, really good. But all right, you guys. I mean, I think it's a beautiful concealer. Again, I would use this underneath my eyes, like literally as a sole concealer if I had the correct shade. So I can't wait to get this in 3C because this is honestly, it's so pretty. It's really, really good. Before we are moving on to powder, let's contour my face, and I've got some really exciting products. So this is by Makeup Forever, and this is the Artist Color Crayon. Makeup Forever did release these stick products in so many shades. I honestly did not know which shade do I want to like pick up. So in total, I have 3. I have one shade here that we are going to be using as a blush later on in this video. I'm going to try and use that on a satin base, but for the contour, I kind of want to use this product underneath. And then afterwards, I'm still going to be using a powder bronzer. That's basically why. So I have 2 shades that you could use as contour sticks. So I've got the shade 432 Luminous Taupe, this one right here. I don't think I'm going to be applying that today, but I filmed some footage where I apply this shade on top of the exact same base as I'm wearing right now. I think on me, this is going to work beautiful in the winter time, but right now on top of the foundation that I've been using today, it's just giving me a little bit more of that natural contour, you know. I feel like the undertone of this is definitely beige, but a little bit more cool tone. So yeah, you can see they are describing this as a taupe. It is kind of like a taupe shade. I also tried this on my lips, and I don't really love this 100% as a lip product. On my lips, this kind of looked a little bit pale, like a little bit too beigey. So the shade that I want to show you today is the shade 506 Endless Cacao. Look at that. That is a lot deeper. So I'm going to use that though, because it's going to work on my skin tone. And especially now for the summertime on this foundation. However, I'm not like going to draw this on like that. Take it onto my hand, work it into a brush, and then I'm going to apply it. They have a very mild scent to them. So just keep that in mind. But they look so blurring on the skin, and I really, really, really like them. I'm just gonna use my BK Beauty 109 brush. I'm just gonna take it from my hand, work it into the brush a little bit, like that, and I'm just gonna go right here. And you can see it's not too much, but it's working. It's beautiful in undertone. It's a little bit cool toned, but it's also not over the top cool toned, you know. It's not like a gray sort of unflattering undertone that could look ashy. I feel like this still looks very like skin-like, which I really, really do enjoy. And Endless Cacao is definitely a shade that I love in their lip liner. And also, if you go overboard a little bit with this product, don't worry, because you can so easily blend this out. Like, I feel like this just melts into the skin. I'm just going to remove my clips so that I can contour my forehead. All right, and I'm also going to be contouring my nose with this shade. So again, I'm just going to apply a little bit on my hand. I don't need that much, just this bit, and then just work it in. And yeah, contour my nose. It works on my nose, it works on my skin, it looks so beautiful. This is blurring, it melts into the skin, it just looks very natural. And I just think this is such a great product. I'm really obsessed with these. I did not think I would love them as much as I actually end up doing. Let's move on to a new setting powder, because I do want to set my face though now. And this is also by Makeup Forever. I did pick up their brand new setting powder. So this is the HD Skin Perfecting Pressed Powder by Makeup Forever. Makeup Forever is known for their loose setting powder, the HD Skin Loose Setting Powder. I never purchased that powder, but I do have a mini of it. I was once gifted a mini with an order, and I've tried this one out, and I really did not like it. It gave me such a white cast. I don't know. I did not enjoy this powder. So I was really hesitant when I saw that they came out with a pressed version of this powder. First off, here is the packaging. It does exist in a couple of shades, and this is also the reason why I did commit. I got this in the shade 0.2 Lavender. So this is the powder. They did not have a pink powder. Otherwise, I would have gone with the pink powder. But they got a lavender powder. That's also fine with me. It also comes with one of these square puffs, powder puffs. And I've not tried this one out because honestly, this shape I don't know. This is just a little bit useless to me personally. I do have my own powder puff. So I've tried this powder out now for a hot minute, and I can tell you this is stunning. This is so good. It is nothing like this guy right here. This is so smoothing, it's so blurring, it's so beautiful. Like, I am so obsessed with this powder, and I think honestly, this might be the best powder that I've tried out this year thus far. I'm gonna be applying it on one side of my face first so you can see the difference, right? It's stunning. And this is also not over the top brightening because in the beginning I thought that this would be very brightening. It's not. It's not that brightening, okay? So, but it's very blurring. It's so blurring and it just sets everything in place wonderfully. Like, look at that. I mean, my pores are just gone. They are completely gone and just lost. It's not one of these deceptive powders, you know, that you put on, that you apply, and then after 2 seconds, if you've got oily skin, you just feel like you have not applied any powder at all. And just look at that. I mean, I'm so speechless at how stunning this powder is. I feel like no one's talking about this. Like, really, I think I really discovered something special. It picks up on the sponge so nice as well. And you don't really need that much powder, right? Because it's quite strong and it just looks flawless. And I don't understand how this loose powder can be so weird looking on the skin, and then this is so beautiful. But just look at that difference. I mean, come on, this is stunning. And also for underneath my eyes, you guys, it looks beautiful underneath my eyes. I have very few powders that really work underneath my eyes and on my face at the same time. And this is just, it's beautiful. It's just working underneath my eyes and on my face, and so that's also a bonus. All right, you guys, I just removed the clips because now we don't need them from this point onwards, but just look at that. Wow, I just love how this is looking. So I'm going to continue doing my eyebrows. I'm going to do that off camera because I've got nothing new to show you here. And then I'll be right back with the brand new bronzer that I picked up. All right, you guys, I am back. My brows are definitely alive right now. I did use the Charlotte Tilbury Brow Lift Pencil in the shade Natural Brown to fill them in. And then, of course, I used my Kosas Airbrow Gel in the shade Soft Brown. But all right, so let's move on to the powder bronzer. I feel like this might be a little bit of a controversial one because so many people online were talking about this and I wanted to test this out for myself. So this is by Anastasia Beverly Hills and this is the Smooth Blur Bronzer. Now the reason why everyone was talking about these was because when they posted these pictures online, their promotional pictures that they were claiming that Sephora took these pictures, I have no idea. Everyone was like, they look ashy, they look gray, you know, and I was like, hopefully they're gonna look like the pictures because I've got a cool undertone. So for me, it's always very difficult to find a bronzer that does not pull too warm, too orange. I mean, I know that a bronzer should be warm, but I also like a little bit of a pinker undertone. And honestly, I would have not minded if they would have been the color that they were presented as online. But unfortunately, I gotta break it to you, for some this is good news, they are not that neutral, nor are they cool toned. At least not the shade that I picked up. I picked up the second lightest shade, and it's the shade Warm Sand Vibes. Honestly, when you look at it though, it looks pretty neutral. This is almost like peachy when it goes on. At least on my skin. On my cool pinkish undertone skin, it kind of pulls warm. It's a beautiful powder formula. It looks like really soft on the cheeks. So I'm just going to apply it right here and you can immediately see that that will warm up my complexion. It is not over the top pigmented. I feel like you can definitely build this up. But look, that is looking peachy. Definitely not a neutral undertone, definitely not a cool undertone whatsoever. But you know, if you like that type of bronzed look, I think the powder is pretty though. It blends out really, really lovely on the skin. Very, very pretty formula though. Please do let me know if you have tried out this bronzer in a different shade maybe, and if it's actually pulling a little bit more neutral. Is the very first shade, like their lightest shade, is that a little bit more neutral, cool toned? Let me know, because I would love to have this formula in a less warm shade. I mean, it's not the worst orangey bronzer I've ever used, right? But it's also not the coolest one. So I do have an entire video on cool bronzers, and bronzers best for cool undertones. And I would not necessarily include this shade in that video, let me tell you that. So let's move on to the blush. Again, as I said, I do have the blush by Makeup Forever. So this is the Makeup Forever Artist Color Crayon. So I'm going to be using this shade right here. This is the shade Swavy Mauve. So I'm going to be applying this on my hand. Again, I love this formula. Let me actually get another BK Beauty 109 brush. So this is the one that I'm using for blushes. I'm just going to work this in and I'm going to apply it right here. It's beautiful for the summertime. Oh, it's such a pretty shade. Really gives me Kosa's Swoon vibes, and that's like my favorite shade out of that line. And this applies so nicely on top of powder as well. They look so blurred on the skin, and you can blend these out so nicely, and they are not gonna be eaten up by my skin. Like, I feel like they are pretty long lasting as well. So I'm just gonna apply this also on the other side. And I like to build this up a little bit slower. Also, I'm just gonna take it a little bit on my forehead. And I really feel like this shade is gonna work with so many different looks, like so many different eye looks, because it's more of that like warm toned mauve, has a little bit of red in there. Okay, so before we are moving on to my eye look, I do want to quickly touch upon this product. I might apply just a little bit of it. Today, I don't feel like I necessarily need this. So this is by One Size Beauty and it's the Powder Melt Glass Setting Spray. I like to use this on days where I have applied way too much powder. Or if I have applied a powder, like maybe like the kimchi one, that one is really strong. And it might look a little bit drying on my skin, so I like to just put this on top of it just to melt the powder together. Today, I feel like my powder is really nice. Like, I feel like I don't necessarily need to apply this product. I don't necessarily need to melt my powder products together, but I'm still gonna use it just a little bit. So I'm gonna shake this up just a little bit, and I'm just gonna apply this maybe like 2 sprays or something, so you guys can see what it's gonna do. All right, not too much, okay? But it will definitely give you like this reflect, okay? This is gonna give you some gloss skin, but it's not gonna look over the top dewy. It's gonna look really lovely. It's gonna give you a pretty crazy gloss skin reflect, but it looks kind of like healthy. I also do have another setting spray that we're going to be using when I'm done with my makeup, okay? But yeah, this is just great for those days where the powder is looking heavy, okay? And my powder was not looking heavy whatsoever today. Before we are moving on to the eyes, I completely forgot to apply a highlighter, and that is because I did not pick up a brand new highlighter, although there were so many highlighters being released. But I have more of a new to me formula. It's such a stunning highlighter. I think I'm just going to include it in today's video. So this is by Florasis, and it's the Twin Lotus Relief Luminous Glow Highlighter. This is the shade 01 Quartz Glow. Just look at that packaging. Oh, so pretty, right? But just wait until you see what's inside. I mean, this is so beautiful. It's so stunning. It's just gonna look so smooth on the skin, but just be mindful not to use too much because this is very beaming. It's so beaming. So maybe let's apply it onto the tip of my nose first. Look, I barely touch my nose. Like, it's so intense. It's really intense. So I'm just gonna apply it a little bit right here. Just a little bit. Oh my gosh, I have to be so careful not to over apply this. Ah, but it's so stunning. I mean, just look at that reflect. Wow. really intense. I feel like my cheeks are really, really shiny now. Okay, but I think that's enough. Okay, so that was it for my complexion. All the products are on there. I really, really like how my complexion is looking, you guys. I feel like all of those products were really, really top notch. So let's move on to my eye makeup. And yeah, I do have a new eyeshadow palette. I've got so many new eyeshadow palettes. So if you are on my channel to see some of these newer releases, stay tuned because behind the scenes, I'm working. I'm working on creating some new looks with these new releases. And for today, I thought to myself, you know what? I want to like show you this palette because I feel like a lot of people may vibe with this. So this is the Unoriginal Nudes palette by Bella Beauté Bar. I have featured a lot of Bella Beauté Bar eyeshadow palettes on my channel, so when I saw that they released this one, I was so intrigued. And by the way, I also have their Ocean Jewel eyeshadow palette coming up on my channel really, really soon. But I wanted to give this a little bit priority here. Just look at that. This is giving me Mean Girls Burn book vibes. I mean, what cool packaging. And as the title says it, unoriginal nudes. But I feel like they really gave us a little bit of a twist. I don't feel like this is a boring neutral palette. So this palette comes with 20 eyeshadows in total. 12 of them are matte shades and 8 of them are stunning shimmer shades, some of them with a beautiful holographic reflect, and then others are just smooth, sparkly, really, really pretty. There is a lot of variety when it comes to the texture in here. You can do warm eyeshadows, you can do cool toned eyeshadows. It's not leaning over the top cool, but there is definitely an element of a little bit more maybe of a neutral undertone in here. This is also a magnetic palette. I have not swatched this one just yet. It literally just arrived yesterday, so by the time that I'm editing this video, I am making sure that I have swatched this palette out so you can already see the swatches. Let's dive into this palette. Let's create just a really simple look. I don't want this to be too complex for today's video whatsoever. All right, I think I'm gonna start off with the shade Unoriginal Nude 4. This one right here, I think that's a good one to start off with. I'm just gonna put that in my crease, kind of like a base shade, okay? And Bella Beauté Bar's mattes are so amazing. They are so good. Like, they blend out like a dream. They are so stunning. I really love this shade. It's more of that, I would say, neutral brown shade with a little bit of warmth to it. I'm gonna go in with the one right next to it, which is called Unoriginal Nude number 3. They are not all numbered like that. So this one right here, I'm gonna use that in my inner corner. And maybe I'm just gonna blend out the edges slightly with this shade as well. So the next shade that I want to use is, I want to go into shade Unoriginal 10. Should we use that one to deepen the look up a little bit? Or should I go into this shade? No, you know what? I think I'm just going to immediately go into this one, Unoriginal 10. And then this one, we could use that for the lower lash line. Ooh, that is almost like a black shade. I think we need this other shade though to blend this one out. And also there was a lot of kickback when I touched this shade. I'm just going to put it in my outer corner and then I'm going to blend it out with this other shade, the number 5 shade. So I have to blend this out with this. Okay, I'm going to just blend this out with this shade. Hopefully it's not going to be too dark once it's blended out. All right, I mean, this is pretty dramatic. I'm going to have to go in with like a clean fluffy brush and just really just clean this up a little bit more to just make it a little bit lighter, because I'm looking at myself and I'm like, wow, that is grungy, man. I did not mean to do that. But all right, you know, I can work with this. It's not a big issue. Let's just do a brown waterline. I'm just going to apply that in my waterline. Okay, so for my lower lash line, I think I'm gonna use the Unoriginal Nude shade number 6. I'm gonna use that all across my lower lash line. I'm gonna deepen it up with this shade, but just on the outer corner. because we have to connect both of these together. So starting off with this, using this, and maybe if I have to blend this out a little bit, I'm going to use this shade. All right, you guys, we're getting somewhere. I am going to be cleaning up my edges, okay? And I'm going to be applying some glitter glue, and then we're going to be moving on to the shimmer shades. All right, my edges are cleaned up, and I also applied a little bit of my NYX glitter glue. So for the shimmers, I think I'm going to go into this shade, Echo. I want to put that all over my lids, and then afterwards, I do want to use maybe this shade in my inner corner and maybe a little bit on top of it. Let's see how it's going to look like. I'm not sure if this is dark or not. Oh my God, that is beautiful. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm always applying shimmer shades with my finger and then I blend them out with a brush. I just feel like you get a little bit more color payoff that way. That's just the way I do my makeup. It definitely has some rose in there too. Almost like a very pale golden shimmer combined with some rose gold. I think it's really, really pretty. It's a really pretty shade. We're not done yet though. You guys know me. I like to use multiple shimmer shades. Honestly, I think I want to use this. Let me actually see what this is going to be like. Okay, we're going to be using that. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that. That's almost like a pale silver green. This is the shade Oblivious. So I'm going to use that in my inner corner. And I'm just going to bring it up here a little bit. Ooh, wow, that is really, really pretty. Honestly, I really like it. It pulls quite silver on my eyes right now. Should we go in with a little bit of the blue? The Token Shimmer number 3. This one, I'm eyeing that. So you guys may know, I just like to apply a little bit of a shimmer right here. Not too much, just a little bit. I'm gonna go into that shade. So the shade that I just used, I feel like it looks really iridescent from far away, but when I look at it up close, it almost has like a little bit of a turquoise shift to it, like a little bit greener than blue. But yeah, that's it for my eye look. I think I'm just going to leave it like it is. You know, again, I did not want to do something too complex, too complicated, something very easy. That's why I included this palette in today's video as well. Honestly, I can't wait to play more with this. So next step, before moving on to applying mascara, I want to use another setting spray. So this one is by Bare Minerals. It's the original Mineral Veil 24-hour setting spray. Natural matte finish. I've been playing around with this for a little bit now and I really like it. I love the sprayer. The sprayer is amazing. This is really, really good. It's definitely a matte setting spray, so no extra glow, no gloss skin. I think it is definitely giving me some extra wear time, yes, but it's not quite as good as the Huda Beauty one or the Charlotte Tilbury one when it comes to the wear time. As of right now, I like it. It's not bad, but it's not maybe the strongest one I've ever tried, okay? Although it says 24-hour setting spray, I don't know. So who does wear their makeup for 24 hours? I'm just going to give this a good shake. The mist is super refined when it hits your skin. Now that really mattified my skin. So I'm going to just let it dry. Again, I have to try this out a little bit more. I'm going to make up my mind. When you see my next speed reviews video, I'm going to be including this. I think it's pretty though. I think it definitely mattifies the skin, which I love. I really do like that, especially for the summertime now. And I mean, it looks beautiful. Let's move on from a product that I'm a little bit unsure about to something that I really made up my mind. And this is the mascara. So I was trying out this one. This is by Makeup by Mario and it's the Master Mascara in Super Black. So I watched a couple of reviews and not a lot of people really like this mascara. I love it. I don't know. It's amazing. In my opinion, on my lashes, it works so well. So I am going to use my lash curler. So I'm just going to apply it on one side first. I mean, you guys, just look at that. That is so pretty. Now, it can be a little bit heavy on the lashes if you are applying a lot of it. So it might not be the best one in holding a curl. I will say though, my lashes, it's not a problem for me. Like I have a natural curl to my lashes. But if you have like lashes that, fall down, maybe this could like fall back down. And I think the application process was also really, really easy. And yeah, I'm just so impressed with this. I'm really, really impressed with it. Also for my lower lashes, not an issue whatsoever. It's not too dry and it's not too wet. I feel like it's the perfect in between texture. So let's do the other side as well. I feel like this is giving you length, it's giving you volume, and it's giving you separation. I love the fact that this does not clump my lashes together. I really feel it's separating and it makes my lashes look so fluffy. But all right, you guys, that's enough for my eyes. So let's move on to the last part. Let's move on to my lips. I want to show you the new lip liners though by Westman Atelier. I only have one shade. So this is the Westman Atelier Lip Shape Lip Liner. I've got this in the shade Biscuit. However, what I'm not going to be showing you today is the other new shade of their lipstick that I purchased. I showed you Mimi now in multiple videos. You might be sick and tired of these, right? Because they are quite pricey. So this is the Westman Atelier Lip Suede Matte Lipstick. Got this in the shade Reine. And it's this beautiful, almost like muted beigey peachy shade. I will show you this. Maybe I'm going to show you this in like B-roll footage. So let's do it that way. I'm going to show you this lip liner in combination with the shade Reine, so at least you can see it. But I'm not going to be applying this lipstick, although I love it. I really, really do like it, because I got some new products that I do want to prioritize, because I feel like maybe you guys might be curious about these two products. And I have not tried them out yet. They literally just arrived yesterday. So this is going to be a first impressions, and I don't know how I'm feeling about that. So this is by Huda Beauty, and it's the Lip Contour Stain. And I also picked up the Huda Beauty Faux Filler Jelly Oil. What I'm thinking is I'm going to be applying this as my base. And then I'm going to maybe use the lip liner, this one by Westman. And then I might top it all off with this jelly lip oil. This one, I've already tried this out, but I tried this out on bare lips without anything else. I've not tried out this stain. I'm not the biggest fan of a stain, so this was kind of like an impulse buy. And I was like, I just want to try it. I just want to see if this is literally not coming off. I will have to remove my lip oil now. So I'm gonna like wipe this completely off, make it completely dry again. I've got this in the shade Soft Nude. There are a lot of different shades, okay? And some of these shades have more pigment than others. I also heard that some of these have a different felt tip. Mine has like a normal felt tip. Like I feel like I wanna just put this all over. So wish me luck. I'm just gonna start off in the middle. So let's see. I think this is looking super dry on my lips. And mind you, I just had a lip oil on there for a hot minute. I did not expect it to look almost like reddish on my lips. Look at that. That shade right here is not this shade. I don't want to judge this too hard immediately, because I haven't done a lip liner yet and I have not applied the lip oil on top of it yet. So let's see if this is coming off. No. Okay, this is not coming off whatsoever. So I'm going to be applying the Westman Atelier lip liner on top of it in the shade Biscuit, and let's see how these will interact with each other. The problem is, because this lip stain is almost darker than my lip liner now, it looks really weird. I love the lip liner though, by the way. I've been using this so much, I need to like sharpen this again. I've been loving these Westman Atelier ones. They're so beautiful. They are so long lasting on the lips as well. And the shade is amazing, but In combination with the stain, I don't know. Let's hope that this can save the day. I will say I've tried this out. It's not quite as thick as the Nabla ones. It does have more of a fruity sort of scent. It smells really lovely. But the texture is a little bit like more like a traditional like lip oil. Let's see if something is going to transfer. If it will, it might be the lip liner. Okay, I'm removing a little bit of the lip liner. Definitely, this is biscuit. I gotta try out the stain as a lip liner, and I have to try out the stain without building it up so much because it looks quite dark. It's kind of funny, but I feel like the stain really does match the deeper eye look. So it's not too much of an issue. So this is something I have to play around with this a little bit more. I would say the lip oil on top of it, it looks so much better, right? Most of the products were really, really amazing. So I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. Let me know, have you tried out any of the products that are featured in today's video? Drop me a comment down below. You guys know I'm always looking forward reading your comments. And also, please feel free to check out my description box where I have linked all of these products. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and also ring the bell in order to get notified about my next one. And I shall be seeing you on here very, very soon again. So please do take care. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.